Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to SK Academy of Mathematics. Today, let us learn how to solve the problem on Newton-Gregory backward interpolation formula. Where this is the one of the most important question which last 2 years, that is in 2023 and 24, is been asked in the VTU main examination. Twice in the VTU main examination, where we need to find the area of the circle with respect to a corresponding to the diameter with respect to the given below values, that is 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Corresponding to this value, considering this value, I am going to find the another diameter value, that is 105, using the appropriate interpolation formula. How to represent and which are the formula I need to consider and how to simplify. Now let us see. First, let us represent here. We have to find the what area, that is find the circle area, we call it as circle A when the diameter equal to 105, when d equal to 105, then where 105 is near to the value x equal to 100. Since the 105 is nearest to the 100, see, if the value whatever they have asked to find, if it is nearest to 82 or 85 or 90, we would take it as forward interpolation formula. Since the value is given with respect to after the 100, that is they have asked to find the value of after 100, that is 105. So since it is in the last interval, we are going to consider the Newton-Gregory backward interpolation formula. We consider Newton backward interpolation formula. And the backward difference table is given by, okay, let us form the table. Okay, done. See, first let us represent the tabular column. See, I am going to represent d with respect to x, where x represent, okay, let us represent in the last itself. Okay, x represent 80, 85, 90, 95, and the last we have 100. Done. Now corresponding to that, we have the value in place of a, I am going to consider as y, that is 5026. Next we have 5674. Next we have 6362. The last we have 7088, and the next we have 7854. Done. Yes, since I need to find the value of 105, since I need to consider backward interpolation formula, I am going to represent it as the last value as xn, and this I am going to represent it as yn. Okay, done. Now let us find backward interpolation formula, that is backward y, where backward y should be subtracted with respect to yn minus yn minus 1. So what I need to do, I need to subtract this minus this, that is 7854 minus 7088. You get 766. Next I need to subtract this minus this. Okay, let us consider the another marker so that it will be easy to analyze. Okay, this minus this and this minus this, that is 7088 minus 6362. You get 726. We get 7, 2, 6. Now next we have this minus this, where 6, 3, 6, 2 minus 5, 6, 7, 4, where we get 6, 8, 8. The last we have, that is 5, 6, 7, 4 minus 5, 0, 2, 6, 6, 4, 8. Okay, done. Now this, since I am going to consider the backward, so I am going to represent this as backward yn, that is 766. Now let us simplify, reduce it for the, that is backward square of y. So backward square of y becomes again 766 minus 726. 766 minus 726, you get 40. We get 40. Next, 726 minus 88. 726 minus 688. You get 38. The next we have, that is 688 minus 648. That is 40. Since I am going to consider backward, so I am going to consider the last one, backward square of yn, which is equal to 40. The next we have backward cube y. So what I am going to do, I am going to consider this one, 40 minus 38, you get 2. Next we have 38 minus 40. 38 minus 40, you get minus 2. Okay, this I am going to represent it as backward cube yn. The last, that is backward power of 4 of y, where 2 minus of minus 2, you get 4. This I am going to represent it as backward 4 yn equal to 4. Okay, these are the required backward conditions for representation of the formula. For example, now let us see. Okay, these are the standard condition. Okay, let us represent this also. This minus this, that is 2 minus of minus 2 becomes plus 2, that is 2 plus 2, you get 4. Now let us represent Newton-Gregory backward formula, sorry, interpolation formula, that is Newton's Gregory backward interpolation formula or formulae. Okay, where Newton-Gregory backward interpolation formula we have yr, which is equal to yn plus r into backward of yn plus r into r plus 1 divided by 2 factorial into backward square of yn plus r into r plus 1 into r plus 2 divided by 3 factorial into backward cube of yn. Since we have backward 4 of yn, I need to represent that also, that is r into r plus 1 into r plus 2 into r plus 3 divided by 4 factorial into backward power of 4 of yn. Yes, this is the standard required formula to simplify Newton's backward interpolation. Okay, done. See, let us represent this one. Okay, now let us consider the values. Okay, what are the values? The required values are, let us represent the given. What is yn? We have yn, that is, let us represent yn. What is our yn? This is our yn. Next we have backward yn. Next we have backward square yn. Next we have backward cube yn. The last we have backward power of 4 of yn. Now let us represent yn represent 7854 and backward yn represent 766 and backward square of yn represent 40 and backward cube of yn you get 2 and backward power of 4 of yn you get 4. Done. These are the conditions. See, we have yn, backward of yn, backward square of yn, backward cube of yn, backward power of 4 of yn. Now I need the value of r. What does the value of r represent? R represent x minus xn by h. Okay, done. Where x represent the value that I need to find. That is, the value which I need to find is 105. And xn represent this value. What does xn represent? The xn represent the 100. Xn represent 100 and h represent the common interval or common difference. That is, in this whatever we have got the value, that is interval 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. What is the common difference in between these values are 5. 0 to 85 we have 5, 85 to 90 5, 90 to 95, 95 to 100 is the difference 5. So I am going to consider h as 5. Just simplify, that is 105 minus 100 divided by 5. You get 5 by 5 which is equal to 1, which implies r equal to 1. What is the value of r? R equal to 1. Done? Yes. Now let us simplify the value in the formula, that is y of, that is what I need to find, y of 105 which is equal to, what is yn? We have 7854 plus r, we have 1 into backward of yn 766 plus, next we have r into r plus 1 by 2 factorial. R is 1, 1 plus 1, 2 factorial is 2 into 1, that is 2 into backward square of yn, I have 40. Plus, next we have r into r plus 1 into r plus 2 divided by 3, that is 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 divided by 3 factorial. 3 into 2 into 1, 3 2s are 6 into backward cube of yn, I have 2. Backward cube of yn, I have 2. The last, that is r we have 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 3 divided by 4 factorial. That is 4 into 4 factorial is given by 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 4 3s are 12, 12 2s are 24. Okay, 24 into 4. 24 into 4. None? Yes. Now let us use the calculator and simplify the values. Y of 105 which is equal to 7854 plus 1 into 766, you have 766 plus, now let us simplify, 1 into 2, 2, okay, see 1 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2, you get 1 into 40, 1 into 40 you get 40 plus, let us simplify this, that is 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 divided by 6, you get 1 into 2 you get 2 plus, no, the last we have 1 into 1 plus 1, next into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 3 whole divided by 24, you get 1, again 1 into 4 you get 4. Just add y of 105 which is equal to, that is 7854 plus 766 plus 40 plus 2 plus 4, you get 8666. 8666. This is the required solution for the what area of corresponding to the diameter 105. Therefore the area corresponding the area corresponding to the diameter 105 is 8,666. Got the point? Yes. See, let us take a recap. Okay, first we are going to represent whether it is forward or backward based on the given point, given value, where the value lies between, whether it lies between forward value or interval or backward interval. Since 105 lies in the backward interval, so we are going to consider Newton backward interpolation formula and represent the backward difference table. In this backward difference table, we are going to consider the last element as the backward value interval and subtracting the yn minus 1, yn minus this minus this minus this and this minus this. Whatever you get the value, we are going to represent. The last value I am going to represent it as backward of yn. Repeat the condition again. Last to first, sorry, that is 766 minus 726. Represent the value. 726 minus 688 represent the value. 688 minus 644 represent the value. Consider the last value as backward square of yn. Similarly repeat, you get 2 and 2. This we are going to represent it as backward cube of yn, that is 2. If you subtract 2 minus of 2, you get 4. That we represent it as backward power of 4 of yn equal to 4. Now, then we are going to represent the formula, that is Newton-Gregory backward interpolation formula. This is the standard formula for backward difference. Just represent what are the values we have simplified. Then find the value of r. The value of r is 1. Simplify considering this value in the formula. Just go with the simplification. Use the calculator for each and everything so that there will be no mistake in this solution. Then you get the final answer 8,666. Where we conclude that the area corresponding to the diameter is for 105 is 8,666. I think you have understood the problem, how to solve each and every step, where this is the one of the fixed question for 6 marks in the VTU main examination, where you can score easily just by subtracting and adding and simplifying in the formula. So there is no any integration, differentiation, simplification in this. So I think you have understood each and every step and each and every procedure how to solve this problem. If you have liked this video, please do like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you.